What's going on? We back. Motor City Sports Talk. We in the building. Talk some Detroit Pistons basketball. Talking about Dwayne Casey speech last night when he accepted the Coach of the Year award. He already had one Coach of the Year award. That was from his peers, and the coaches voted him. Now the media voted him the NBA Coach of the Year. And he had a really, really deep message. And he had a really, really deep background as well. From traveling and really having it the hard way and getting the short end of the stick. Not just in Toronto, but back in his college days, back with the Minnesota Timberwolves and having to go to Japan and coach and all of that stuff and all that nature. And it shows that he's a tough, resilient guy. But his speech was very, very deep. He took a shot at the Toronto Raptors, saying that, he's just happy to be in Detroit where Tom Gores appreciates him and wants him there. He says it's a genuine want by the ownership, and that's all you want as a coach and the players, to be wanted and given a chance and somebody to believe in you, And he alluded to say, yeah, I'm pretty. If you guys haven't heard, I did get fired from Toronto, and this and that, and he just sound really, really happy to be here. You really don't get that a lot from guys that come to Detroit, and especially in basketball and football, man. Especially, you can say baseball as well. You don't see people that want to be here. Most of the time, it's a fake smile. They're just happy that they got drafted here, and the money is what kind of keeps them here in most sports. You don't see a lot of people that's genuinely happy to come and play in Detroit or coach in Detroit, and it seems that Dwayne Casey is genuinely happy. He genuinely has a good love and tight bond relationship with Tom Gores. It seemed like they really, really hit it off, and just hearing the desperation to win and the desperation in his voice to prove Toronto wrong last night. The speech was 1 in a million, 1 in a zillion. That was the most authentic, heartfelt speech that I heard in a minute, sports-wise. That speech sounds like he's determined to stick it to Toronto. He's determined to put Detroit in the map. And you know what? He got a whole bunch of determined guys with him. Andre Drummond, he looking in phenomenal shape. Blake Griffin, I heard he motivated. Stanley Johnson don't have no other choice but to be motivated by Dwayne Casey. It sounded like he was a big reason he took the job. And I was listening to Ryan Hollins on The Jump on ESPN say that he spoke to Ben Wallace yesterday while he was giving that speech, and Ben Wallace say it seemed like the Pistons got to steal. He said it seemed like they got to steal as a head coach, and I feel the same way. Just knowing more about him and learning his background and legitimately, looking what he did in Toronto. And knowing that he got a chip on his shoulder. This could be the beginning of something like very, very successful and beautiful in Detroit. And, it's basically going to be, predicated on health and the team buying in. But it seems like, he got the real raw end of the deal in Toronto. Remember they were saying him and DeMar DeRozan didn't get along and this and that. It is what it is, And now the Toronto hires an assistant coach, and now it's a fire sale over there. They wouldn't trade anybody off that team. So if and then the GM, he's from Denver, the Denver Nuggets. He comes in the locker room and shows them up after one of the losses versus Cleveland. I think it was game 2 or 3. I think it was 2. He shows them up in the locker room in front of the team. He's mad because his team not performing. So at that point he already determined that he was gonna fire Dwayne Casey, okay? But now they fired Dwayne Casey. They bring in assistant coach, somebody I guarantee was not better coach than Dwayne Casey. And now they want to sell and trade everybody. So which one is it? Is it the coach or is it the players? Obviously it was the personnel. But Casey seemed like he knew that. He didn't say he don't feel like the ownership, or the brass, but the management believed in him. He sat there all them years and built that team up and lost it off of one season after coaching the best he could. But hey, another man's trash is another man's treasure. And Dwayne Casey, he's motivated. Seems like a good, strong guy. He getting jerked around. And they replaced him with one of his assistants that I'm guaranteed not half as good as him. And now he's going back and getting players and picking the coaches that he worked with in the past off of other teams to be successful and develop this team. I smell something special brewing in Detroit. I didn't smell it before when he got here, but I got a good sense. Depending on the health and his ability to develop, I got a good sense that this is going to be okay here. It's going to be a really, really good mix for Dwayne Casey. It might not happen right off the bat because it is an adjustment period, but I believe, Dwayne Casey, without a doubt in my mind, was the perfect pick for what they wanted to do. I said that from day one. What they wanted to do is develop and win now. He's the perfect pick for that. But him taking a shot at the Toronto Raptors organization was beautiful last night. Because these teams want to preach loyalty. Players should be loyal, but the teams ain't loyal to the coaches and the players. You see that time and time again in the NBA and NFL all the time. No loyalty. No loyalty. But Dwayne Casey, if you haven't seen the speech, man, look it up. It was a great speech. It was classy, but he let Toronto know that you made a mistake by getting rid of me. I did an amazing job. I was the coach of the year. How do you fire the coach of the year? And, Ben Wallace said to Robert Hollins, that's on the jump. Used to be a player. Say, Detroit got to steal. How do you get the coach of the year, fall into your lap? And I'm happy to have Dwayne Casey here. And fully support him and the Detroit Pistons as always. Motor City Sports Talk, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Those links are in the description. I know you guys been following and liking it. I'm going to get it up, the Twitter and Instagram up and running pretty soon. And also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. We upload and go live and share. Most definitely, all the blessings to everybody out there. I'm going to come back with some more work later on. We out.